I don't got no friends. I don't got no friends. You know what I mean? I got supporters, people on my side and people on the other side.
Welcome to the shift where the whole room glows. DMG vibes got the city on go. Stand on what you know, every mind gon' grow. This is black, I'm with you, let the whole world know. Paradigm light, yeah, we shine just right. Respect your view, even if we don't align right. We can disagree and still keep the love tight. DMG family, we elevate the mind right. This that channel that be talking back, energy attack. Iron sharp as iron, watch the whole league react. Competition in the building, better tighten up your facts. We ain't clones, but we still mirror how you crack under impact. Every debater work hard, spot a weak, rap fast. You live wrong, paradigm shift and break your stance. I'm the judge, the jury, the pen, the contrast. My bars hit always like a quadruple, by entire shift where the whole room glow. DMG vibes got the city on go. Stand on what you know, every mind gon' grow. If you black, I'm with you, let the whole world know. Paradigm light, yeah, we shine just right. Respect your view, even if we don't all align right. We can disagree and still keep the love tight. DMG family, we elevate the mind right. We invite every mind, long as you stand on yours. Walking with respect, leave with open doors. Channel stay lit, views jumping off some boards. STL bounce, yeah, the spot from the source. Competitors, welcome, step up, don't fold. We don't fit pressure, we refine under load. Thoughts heavy, we press them till the truth gets told. Shift so clean, if the platinum even willing to go. Come through correct, bring your logic and your proof. Speak your truth, just don't run from the truth. We debate with grace, that's the paradigm groove. Flow so smooth, even turbulence move. Welcome to the shift where the whole room go. DMG vibes got the city on go. Stand on what you know, every mind gon' grow. If you black, I'm with you, let the whole world know. Paradigm light, yeah, we shine just right. Respect your view, even if we don't align right. We can disagree and still keep the love tight. DMG family, we elevate the mind right. Where the whole go. DMG vibes got the city on go. Stand on what you know, every mind gon' go. If you black, I'm with you, let the whole world know. Paradigm light, yeah, we shine just right. Respect your view, even if we don't align right. We can disagree and still keep the love tight. DMG family, we elevate the mind right. Welcome to the shift. DMG vibes got the city on go. Welcome to the shift. Stand on what you know, every mind gon' grow. Welcome to the shift. If you black, I'm with you, black, I'm with you. Welcome to the shift. We can disagree and still keep the love tight. Welcome to the shift. DMG family, we elevate the mind right. Welcome to the shift. DMG vibe, got the city on low. Walk with paradigm shift, keep it real for.
Y'all know I say that greeting for one reason and one reason only. It's because if you black, I'm with you. And I hope that you with me.
I told y'all what to step into. I ain't disrespecting you, son. You wanted to be that way. What? You wanted to be that way. But it's the other way.
Yeah. Funny how everybody love debate till the judges say they lost. Funny how everybody claim they want smoke till the scorecards come across.
My name is my name.
Everybody gangster when the verdict go their way. Taking victory laps, posting on social media all day. But let them catch an L, now the judges all corrupt. Now the rules wasn't fair, now the platform messed up. When you won, it was justice. When you lost, it was rigged. When the spotlight was on you, man, you danced a little jig.
Funny how the narrative changes overnight. You a scholar on Monday, by Tuesday ready to fight.
Y'all don't want accountability, you want applause. Want championship treatment without championship flaws. See, debate ain't about feelings, it's about evidence, argument, and skill. Sometimes you climb the mountain,
Sometimes you fall down the hill. You want it to be one way,
but it's the other way.
but it's the other way.
When you win, it's all love.
When you lose, it's another day. You want it to be one way,
But it's the other way.
the same judges you praised last month ain't fair today. You want it to be one way,
But it's the other way.
the facts don't bend for feelings, no matter what you say. My name,
Yeah,
my
the
name.
hate got me laughing. It really tell the story. If the platform wasn't working, why they obsessed with my glory? Every week somebody got an opinion to proclaim, but they still tuning faithfully. That's free promotion of the name. Paradigm shift, TV 314 still standing, while critics in the comments keep demanding and demanding. See the infamous perspective, giving viewpoints room to breathe. The black church files digging deeper than was seen. The Kemet takeover, bringing culture to the floor. The GT perspective, asking questions they ignore. Here you get many choices. Ladies' night, giving divas voices. Different minds, different paths, different truth. Reaching the elders and the youth.
Be one way.
But it's the other way.
You said the platform needed you, but somehow you still stayed.
Yeah,
You wanted to be one way,
but it's the other way.
the show keeps moving forward even after people stray. You wanted to be one way,
But it's the other way.
the audience decides, not the stories that you made. My name is my
I seen debaters come and go. Some legends, some pretenders. Some became champions, some became contenders. Some accepted losses and came back even stronger. Others spent 6 months complaining and being bitter even longer. Everybody wanna run a platform. Everybody got advice, but very few know the sacrifice. Are willing to pay the price. Fight facts, challenge views, give the people real discussion. Not excuses when you lose. So whether they applaud or whether they complain, one thing remains forever.
My name is my name. You want it to be one way,
But it's the other way.
my name is my name.
Be one way. On the Paradigm Shift TV 314, this is your brother, the infant DMG. And I just want to talk to you. How my audio sound now? Is it better? Y'all let me know. Is the audio a little better?
How is the audio? Can I be heard? All right, cool. Cool. Shout out to Mika and Michelle, the best moderators in the business. Look, I just want to talk to you for a little while. It's free smoke, so you can talk about whatever you want. If you got smoke with somebody, come and talk about it. I heard that everybody's favorite clout chaser is making a video about me. I don't know why. I don't mention people. I don't, I'm not concerned about certain individuals. If I have you on, if I shout you out, then, that means you my peoples. But sometimes when I see people just out of the blue talking about they making a video response to you and you ain't even say nothing. It's like, so listen, I'm banning even mentioning certain people up here because apparently if somebody else mentioned somebody, that means you mentioned them. People don't even know the difference between somebody else making a comment and you making a comment. So, but shout out to the cloud chasers. I don't know what's with that. It's kind of weird, but it been weird in this YouTube back chat community. Shout out to BK. Happy Father's Day to you too. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Had a great Father's Day up until I put my foot in my mouth. Now the wife a little tight with me, but I'm gonna try to rectify that. But listen, before I really throw the link in the chat and let some people up, I got to do my joint, man. So let me say God bless to all my Christian brothers and sisters. Hotep to all my Kemetic brothers and sisters. Shalom to all my Israelite brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum to all my brothers and sisters in the NOI and Islam proper. I want to say Islam to all my Moorish brothers and sisters. Peace to all my brothers and sisters in the nation of gods and earth. What's up to all my atheist brothers and sisters? Shout out to all my Albo brothers and sisters. What's up to all my Rasta brothers and sisters? Last but certainly not least, I want to say Jumbo. To all the rest of my brothers and sisters all throughout the African diaspora, be it here in the wilderness of the United States or beyond. Y'all know I say that greeting for one reason and one reason only. It's because if you're Black, I'm with you. And I hope that you with me. Our different ideologies should not keep us from uniting. We can have unity without uniformity. Last and certainly not least, we can disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable. With that being said, let's talk about it. So I got a little negative feedback from my video talking about supporting Sinetta. And shout out for everybody who took the liberty to actually hit me up and tell me why they thought that was a bad idea. I hear you. I understand. I'm not knocking you. We can disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable. Shout out to the clout chasers. Apparently there's no less than 3 videos being made about me in the next week or 2. Now, understand, from now on, certain people just don't get mentioned up here. Because one of these individuals who's supposedly making a video about me, I wasn't even the person who mentioned him. Yet they making a video about me. And the brother who mentioned him, from what I understand, was just illustrating something that went down for everybody to see. So it's not like it was a secret. It's not like they was lying. But that prompted, because again, people need content, people need motion. And if they can get it off of you, then that's what they do. So from now on, certain people just don't even get mentioned up here. And it is what it is. It don't make no difference how much you want to try to be peaceful or be drama-free. Somebody gonna always find a reason to bring some drama, and most of the time is some attention seeking, or maybe I can get my views up if I mention so and so, or if I cause some controversy this way, and I'm just off of that. So salute. Make your videos. You're not gonna get a response from the kid because I'm off of it. So it is what it is. Shout out to the Black Church Files, getting a lot of positive feedback from that series. Hope y'all continue to enjoy it. Hope y'all learning something. Hope y'all edutained by it. This week, we got the one and only Pastor Robert Ash coming on. We're going to talk about what is Christian white nationalism, and why it's unbiblical. And then the week after, we have Isaiah Robertson, who's going to be coming on to talk about revaluing a pillar, why the Black church matters. So we hope y'all will be there for both of those. We also doing that over on DMG TV. Had to start throwing them over on DMG TV. My uncle pastor, my bishop, they like, look, we want to see it. We want to post a link on the organization website, this and that. And I try to open this up to everybody, but unfortunately, I don't want the church to see what everybody be having to say. So you can also see that over on DMG TV on YouTube and check that out without some of the extra stuff going on, if I may say. So link is in the chat. If you got some smoke, come up and talk about it. It can be from a political situation, from a social situation, a newsworthy situation, whatever you got smoke about, come up and talk about it. If you got somebody you want to salute for Father's Day, come up and talk about that as well. The link is in the chat. If you're trying to get at somebody for any reason, if you're trying to give them free smoke, please do so. Pardon your brother, I got to go pay a water bill. And when you get to be a certain age, ain't no not paying. So I'm gonna play a little song. I'll be back. Hopefully somebody will hit the link and we'll chop it up.
Yeah. Ain't this what y'all wanted? Now you talking like enemies. That's crazy. Fake online friends lead to bitter ends. Stop me when I'm not saying what's true. Did not give credit where it was due. Yeah. Heard they saying they made deep. Made me say, go ahead, make another me. They want the throne but can't carry the pressure. Now resentment dressing up as bad lectures. You built my platform, but is that true? If you built mine so easy, why you ain't build yours too?
See, I was loyal to a far defended bad behavior. Every time they cross the line, I still show favor. Now I'm difficult, huh? Now I'm controlling, right? After years of me sacrificing, maybe y'all was the reason for my plight. How many times did I compromise just to keep the peace? Now I move how I want and suddenly the friendship cease. Weak people call boundaries betrayal, that's fact. Couldn't control me, so now they attack. Wanted titles without warfare, crowns without scars. Talking reckless from the sideline ain't the same as surviving the war. You said I was the wavy on Sean's stage, so where was you when I was in that cage? Did you defend me the way I defended you? Guess silence is safer when the real pressure comes through, yeah. You said you made me, go ahead, make another me. If I was so easy to build, my spot should be easy to fill. Go ahead, make another D, go ahead, make another king. Funny how they hate your name, soon as they can't control the thing. Y'all scream family in private chats, call me brother on live streams. Never thought it'd be like this in my wildest dreams. And truthfully, I ain't even mad at you. Some things you just can't undo. Now that I know you a bad actor, yeah, you're just another non-factor. See, when they can't duplicate your presence, they seek ways to destroy your essence. Then, when it's revealed they a scavenger, they try to assassinate your character. You couldn't organize a card game, but claim you built me. Then do it again, go ahead and make another DC. I don't watch allies become my rivals, hoping the hate fuels their revival. But lies be the language of bitter men. Oh well, only so long fake thugs can pretend. I opened doors and shared what was mine, but some people only love you when they're basking in your shine. So let them talk, let them complain to whoever will listen. For better or worse, I'm the only cook in this kitchen. You said you made me, go ahead, make another me. If I was so easy to build, my spot should be easy to fill. Go ahead, make another D, go ahead, make another king. Funny how they hate your name, soon as they can't control the thing. What's done is done, what's said is said. I survived every attack and I'm still not dead. So if you're the reason I became who I am, the way you claim it to be, prove it. Go ahead, make another me. The infamous DMG.
Hopefully y'all can hear me. Whoever want to come in, man. Link is in the chat. Who you got free smoke with? Or do you have free smoke? Maybe you don't, yeah, Vince should definitely hit the link. Shout out to Vince Mueller in the building. But yeah, I think people, I said this before, in this YouTube community, you got a bunch of characters. And when you get to these smaller platforms like mine, like others who trying to grow it, I think sometimes people make up stuff in their head, or they don't even make it up in their head. They just decide maybe this will be the one that can get me the attention that I'm seeking. Maybe this will be the one that'll hit like I wanted to hit, because I'm stuck below 500 subscribers and I'm trying to get, I'm trying to get this joint monetized. So I understand where they coming from. But what I don't understand is, if I ain't messing with you, why are you trying to mess with me? Like, it's crazy. And that's what people, But that's what people seem to like to do. That seemed to be the go-to move for people. And it get real tiresome after a while. And that's why I said from now on, if a certain person name come up, I'm just gonna cut it off at the pass, even though I know the people who saying it may not even mean anything, because now apparently that's they name being mentioned by somebody as an excuse for them to go at me or whoever else. And that's been a thing in this community for a while. And y'all wonder why I don't be even trying to participate. I like doing stuff like the Black Church Files. Notice there's no drama with the Black Church Files. None. Because the ego, it ain't about the ego. It's about the Imago Dei. It's about the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ. It's about how our people navigated oppression, degradation, disrespect, and still made it out of that and became pillars not only in their communities that they built, but outside of it. It's a story of triumph. And it's hard to have drama as it surrounds that, because no matter what you believe or don't believe, it's a true story. But there's no drama with the Black Church Files. Now, you get some people who come in and because they not Christian, they no longer Christian, they feel a way about some of the things being said. But for the most part, it's drama free. And that can't be a coincidence. Because see, in this debate culture and this YouTube content culture, egos are everything. People egos really get them messed up. And I'm talking about myself as well, because I've fallen victim to it. But just the fact that, again, apparently no less than 3 people are making videos about me. And it's based on my relationship with somebody else and something that somebody else said it never ceases to amaze me, the excuses people will use to keep up drama. Just out of the blue. I try to stay away from it at this point because all it do is bring you down. A shout out to the cat that think he made me, but that's why we had to go our separate ways, because you start a lot of drama about my platform and you expect me to ignore it. Then when I don't ignore it and I got to confront these issues, you ain't nowhere to be found. Telling people you run my platform. I'm still trying to figure out where the platform you running now, or why ain't you running one? But you're telling multiple people what you did for me. It's amazing. Nathaniel, I'm still waiting on you to hit the link, bro. Still waiting on you to hit the link. We gotta talk about some things, man. I know ISUPK got some wearying to do now that you have officially entered the arena. So if you can, hit the link. What's up, sis?
Hey, it's loud where I'm at 'cause I'm on vacation. I just wanted to come and say Happy Father's Day real quick. Um, and to tell Jose Francis that just come on home, bro. Whatever happened, if you need somebody to talk to, there's a lot of qualified people who's willing to talk to you. Don't allow people to keep you from the will of God. Just because stuff happened, it hurts, and we can walk through all of that together as a family. But, bro, just go ahead and come on home. We know you want to be here, so just come on home.
Hey, I gotta drop a bomb for my sister because I did not even expect you to say that. But shout out because that is the truth. Jose is running, and I don't know quite why, but I saw the other day the ice around his heart is slowly melting, sis. It's slowly melting. Shout out to my man Cedric Ortega in the building. Shout out to you,
Yeah.
bro.
And I just, but I will say, just as an example to Jose, there was a time that I didn't think Bianchi would be on his channel talking about the evangelion, the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ. So we still we man, we rooting for you, Jose. We rooting for you.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. I caught that the other night with LP and Pastor Trey, and I was like, he even hit me up like, man, how dare you? I was like, what, man, my bad. But I think the brother just he, in all seriousness, I think he really is dealing with some church hurt, and I think he just needed to see that's not the way it's supposed to be. Those people was off, but that shouldn't
Man, I
be
agree.
indicative of how he judging the entire body. It's always going to be some people off in whatever situation you in. That don't mean that they represent the overall group. So yeah, we gonna see what the progression be.
Yeah, well, I'm about to hop off because I'm about to go to the big game show place here. But I just wanted to hop on just to say, when I see you had some smoke, I was gonna give you some, but I changed my mind. Just never mind.
I already know what you was talking about too. It's all good, sis.
Yep,
I appreciate you.
That's why I said I'm gonna let it alone. You did right with the opening of the show, so I'm gonna let it go. But I
I
did. I was like,
appreciate
no,
it.
but I did want to tell Jose that I might beef with him and talk crazy to him, but I have no real beef with him. Like in real life, I just like to mess with him and antagonize him a little bit because he's messing with my big brother BK. So you mess with one of mine, I'm gonna mess with you. But I guess in the words of BK, probably got to smoke for him and I got to smoke for you. But I really do. I also want to tell you, hey, happy Father's Day, and I really love the environment that you create, that you allow people of different, belief systems to come and to be heard, because people in reality just want to be heard sometimes, and you allow them to be heard. Even if sometimes I'd be like, nah, I know good well DMG knew that they was not as articulate as they should have been to try to express their opinions, but you still allow them to be heard too. So I just want to thank you for creating that environment for people and giving people, grace, and giving people love when they need it and correction when they need it as well. So I appreciate that. Ain't no real smoke, but I do appreciate that. And happy Father's Day, bro.
No doubt. I appreciate it, sis. And before you go, I know you're gonna have some smoke for me later on, but you know where I got that from, right? You ain't gotta answer. You ain't gotta answer.
Oh, it don't matter. It don't matter. But you. So here's the thing, though. I'm gonna say this, and I say this with all the respect that I can muster up for that person. Here's the thing: the way that you handle it and the way that they handle it are not the same. If that person, like I said in the chat, if that person, regardless if I disagree, because there's people on your thing that me and Light don't have the same, you know what I'm saying, like beliefs. I love Light. I rock with her. I have no problem with her. If Light was like, hey, Light Bill do or something, can the community come together and pitch in? I would be one of the first people to give. I would have no problem with that. The belief system isn't the problem. Is the way that you have handled the community that I have a problem with. You don't handle the community that way. And they do. That's my issue. Had they been a real elder and a real pillar of the community, I was raised to respect my elders, even if I don't agree with them. If he had been a real elder and pillar in the community, I would be like, you know what, I don't have to agree. Here's a couple of dollars. We're going to make sure A, B, and C is going on. That would have never been a problem. I don't like how he handles people. I don't like how he handles women. I don't like how he handles business. None of those things is done in decency or in order or with any kind of real respect for the people he's dealing with. That is my problem. It's not the person, it's how they do stuff. If you acted like him, I wouldn't have no blue wrench and none because I'd be talking about you too. I don't have a problem with that. You don't handle people in that same way. You're fair to people. You're more respectful. You give people platforms. You don't, and then you don't allow stuff to slide just because they get you views. Because you fell out people who could have got you more views, and you stood your ground on that. You don't let stuff slide just because somebody can get you more views or somebody can get you in with anybody else. Those are two totally different things. Your character and his character are not the same. And just because you may have learned something good from that, that does not mean that you learned the other stuff that come with it. So just because you learned that from him, I stand on, if you acted like them, I wouldn't be over here. I would still be talking crap about you too.
Hey, why did I get her started, y'all? Hey, shout out, sis. Enjoy yourself. I appreciate you. And family, nobody give me the business like my little sis, Michelle Turner. Enjoy yourself, sis. And we're going to keep this thing going with my man, Nathaniel Hughes in the building.
Yes, sir.
Hey, hold up, real quick. Team Titans, did you say you was blocked? Oh, no, you said never mind. Okay. I was about to say, hold up, let me, what's going on with you, bro?
I'm good. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? You can't hear me? Hold on.
Yes, sir, loud and clear, man. So I got to talk to you, brother, because I can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you.
I gotta holler at you because you had an interaction with ISUPK on my phone.
Yeah, earlier today.
Galvanized your resolve to jump into man. Let's talk about it. What exactly happened?
Okay, so the other day, I was on. Always whenever I got your notifications on, so whenever your videos pop up, I always hop on, watch, I share, do all that good stuff. And I saw that they was on there, so I salammed the chat like I would normally do. And so the brother kind of laughed and said, "Oh, Hughes Nathaniel 44 said Salam Alaikum," right? So they was talking, and something came up about Bibles, and I said, "Yeah, I got access to an Ethiopian Bible." So the brother said, "You can throw that in the trash along with the Quran because it's toilet paper." So I asked them, because I know they have like a little debate session on Sunday or whatever that they was talking about. So I asked them about it, and today's Sunday, so I showed up, and it just seemed like I asked one question about a verse in the Bible, and after that, it just seemed like they didn't want to talk about it no more. So. How I see it is you can't really insult somebody and then hide behind the keyboard, you know what I mean, or hide behind the screen. So if the only way I can get to them is by debating them, then we need to have a talk.
You do me a favor, Nate. Do me a favor.
Yes,
go
sir.
out and come back in because you're breaking up, and I don't know what's causing. Let's see if it'll get better when you come back.
All right.
All right, the brother gonna come back in, and we'll see if it'll be better for him. Hopefully it will. But like I said, it's free. So if you guys for any reason, that anybody or anything, it can be political, it can be relationship wise, it can be on this YouTube tip. Hit the link and come on in and let's talk about it. Shout out to Ann Stilabro Bill. Shout out to Mika, Michelle, etc., etc. We got the brother back. Let's see how you sound, bro.
Yes, sir. You can hear me? Hello?
Loud and clear. You loud and clear.
Yeah. So where did
Yes, sir. Can you
where
hear
did
me?
I break up at? Yeah, I can hear you. Let me turn this TV off. Where did I break up at?
Yeah, nah, you broke up. You was going in and out the whole time, but you would come right back in, so I was letting it rock. But you left off where you were saying you said you got access to an Ethiopian Bible.
Yeah, yeah. And so from there, the brother basically told me the Ethiopian Bible is trash, and then he told me the Quran was trash. And he said they toilet paper. That's all they good for. So I asked him, because when he insulted the Quran, then I wanted to talk to him. So they said they was having a little session Sunday, so I showed up today for the session, and I asked him about Galatians 3:28. And he kind of gave me a haddock answer about what the Greeks and the Jews was, and then I kind of cornered him off with another verse. And when I seen him cornered off, I seen the other brother was he was like screening the chats, and then all of a sudden the chat didn't pop up no more. It's almost like they didn't want to talk. So my view on that is you ain't going to insult me and insult my Quran and insult my religion and then run behind the screen. So yeah, if they want to debate on DMG's channel, let's do it. And you know what I mean? And yeah, like I told you earlier, I want all the smoke. So come on. And that's about it. It's nothing personal, you know what I mean? But I don't feel like you kind of know me a little bit from what you done seen so far. I don't believe in insulting people. Whatever your religion is, whatever your creed is, I think we should all still have respect. That's kind of why I like your channel, because we can agree or disagree, and then we can still keep the love tight. But when you start saying things about the black church, when you start saying things, disrespectful, even today they was disrespecting Martin Luther King. I don't agree with everything Martin Luther King did either, but the man died fighting for black folks. And so,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
They got a real weird commentary on Dr. King, and it's all here's the thing that get me about my brothers as it relates to Dr. King. It's all rhetoric from the so-called devil, the people that they say is the devil. That's where that rhetoric come from.
Exactly.
And so it's like, bro, you claim the white man is the devil the Bible speak of, but you got all his talking points about Dr. King.
Dr. King and anybody else
So which is it?
Right.
Yeah.
And so at this point, you gave me the opportunity to get on the debate league, and so I know you got some Hebrew Israelite brothers on there, so we can talk, we can debate.
For sure. We definitely will. We got a member of the Legends Hall for Worldview Wars Debate League, Paradigm Shift, one of the all-time greats, whether he just disseminating information or debating. Cedric Ortega in the building. Pseudo Killers Official. What's the word, brother?
What it do, DMG, man. I always appreciate your introductions, man. Makes me feel special. Thank you always. I just wanted to rap with you for a second about a philosophical concept. I want to see where your head is, where it's concerned. Okay. And just to have a conversation, right? And you're right. I think we need to get in spaces where we can simply have conversation, and that's why Set Talks is the way it is, right? It is geared towards having less. Although I love debating, right? People don't get it twisted. Every weekend, my life consists of martial arts, but because in our community we have the inability to separate the two. We don't always need to be fighting. We can just have a conversation sometimes, right? And engaging in philosophical conversation is fun because there's no right, there's no wrong. So with that, what's your conceptualization, or Do you, let me see, let me frame this question. The concept of a soul and spirits, do you hold that as a, as a, as a reality? And if so, do you know where these concepts come from, started, where they originated?
So I do. I don't know where it originated. Um, I think that, you know, whether or not it's actually true or whatever the case may be, I think that I always say cream gonna rise to the top and we gonna figure out what's true and what ain't when that time comes. But as it stands right now, I do believe it's true. Whether it's just, you know, your conscious, your brain, your quote, not your actual heart that pumps blood throughout your body, but your heart as it relates to, you know, your feelings and your emotions. So whatever that actually is or isn't, I'm not 100% sure, but I do, and I'm saying believe, not know. I do believe it exists in some capacity.
Okay, let me a little story. Ever since I was a kid, there's a reason why I went and studied bioanalytical chemistry. Because from since I was a kid, I would take up products and always turn to the back because I wanted to know what was in it. And I could not read those big scientific words and those numbers and acetyl 1, 2, 3, 4, and that fascinated me. So from a kid, I wanted to know why, how come. I was the most difficult kid you could have ever had. Why? How is that? No, I explain that to me. Like I was that kid where I would pull on your pants. So I was fortunate to have a house like full of encyclopedias. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, and she would get suckered into buying encyclopedias by those salesmen that passed. So with that, there's pretty much not a word that comes out of my mouth or a concept that exists that I don't want to know where it came from, how it started, why do we have it, and everything. So it's with saying that spirits, soul, this concept originated with Plato, Greek philosophers. They were trying to 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 figure out this thing, this phenomena that we experience as human beings. So I look at DMG and I see a complete unit. I see you as a complete unit, right? There is no, that's it. But whenever I look at myself, I think that I have hands, that I have feet, that I have a body. So there's this I that exists somewhere in there that is seemingly separate from the body. But that is only a first person perspective because when you look at a third person, you see them as a complete entity. So from Plato's time, they were trying to figure this out. What is this thing? And they came up with all kind of different philosophical concepts. And as time went by, they eventually changed, adopted. But that idea of soul and spirit was grafted onto a text that did not have that concept in it. It was grafted onto the Hebrew text. Now, in the Hebrew text, there's a thing called the nefesh and the ruah, right? And it's a whole different concept. The animating force, that breath, quote unquote, once you die, that goes back to the source, and the body is over. Party's done. They do not see that animating force as a specific thing separate from the body. The body becomes an animated force. So in 2026, we rest our philosophical foundation on some Greeks who really didn't know what they were talking about. The scientific revolution proved that most if not all of their philosophical concepts was a waste of time. Scholasticism was thrown out the door. So it is counterproductive, I think, especially for us black folks who want to take charge and agency of our future, relying on outdated Greek philosophies as a foundation for us to navigate on. So if we say, okay, let's go back to the drawing board as the rest of humanity did, where and what tools and instruments we gonna use to understand this concept, this thing that exists, but we need to figure it out. Now you hinted towards a lot of modern understandings, right? And I think you've been watching a little bit of Set Talks, where now where now we engaging in neuroscience, the philosophy of mind, uh, 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 clinical and neuropsychology, and we're starting to get a much better understanding of what is happening inside, right? And so when we hold on to these concepts, how do they help us move forward when they are not grounding our people in true agency and not relying on outdated European philosophers, which at the end of the day, we admit ain't had nothing good in their intentions for us overall, right? So you got
Well, I think that I don't think it's a reliance so much on European philosophers at this point, because I think most people who you ask that question, they might not even understand philosophy, period, but never mind who came up with the philosophy originally. So I think it's more or less you have these spiritual traditions, and it don't even have to be Christianity. It don't even have to be Islam. It could be Buddhism. It could be Hinduism, etc. What's up, y'all? Free Smoke. I see you, Cosmine. I see you. I think that was Laurel. Hit the link. Come on in. No profanity. No profanity. Trying to get my algorithm up. But I think that you have people who, whether they've been taught this from a kid, I heard it said one time, religion, and I'm not saying I agree with this, but this was a statement that I heard. Religion would collapse under the weight of its own absurdity were it not for child indoctrination. And now again, whether you agree with the absurdity part or not, I think it is something to be said about what we teach our children and what we hold on to from our childhood. And so if you've been taught that this is your moral center, this is what keeps you from collapsing into immorality, and that if you happen to devolve into something immoral or something shameful or otherwise, you can get back on track if you start to follow these principles again. I think it's something to be said about that, but also in that there are people who were living a particular kind of life, went down one of these roads where they adopted this spiritual belief or that spiritual belief and turned their life around with that as the center of their moral compass. And so whether it's true or not, and I'm not saying, I believe it's true, but I'm not saying anybody else has to, but whether it's true or not, if a person can turn their life around based on those principles and become a better person, then I think it will continue to be something that's involved in our everyday lives as human beings, whether it's deemed necessary or not by certain members of our community. I hope that answered your question sufficiently.
So no, it actually didn't. So you started out by admitting that we hold on to certain concepts and rooted in ignorance, and that for me is a fundamental thing that needs to change, our ignorance to how and why we believe certain things. Number two, um, creating or structuring the argument out of a situation of need is is half the merit, right? Every one person you can find that changed their life around because of a one of the thousands of belief, we can find someone who absolutely had no necessity for that, right? I
That's
used to
facts.
smoke
That's
and
facts.
I used to smoke and drink. I've been an atheist all my life, reached 32 years, watched around me and decided, you know what, I'm done. I stopped drinking, stopped smoking just by putting the pack of cigarettes down. Just automatic. And I'm not attributing that to my own strength and blah, 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 blah. There's a whole body of factors around that allows me to be able to do that, right? So I'm not taking away from the fact that there are elements and individuals that will use some sort of crutch, whatever the crutch be, to change their situation. That's more geared to human nature and societal support rather than the actual religious exercise itself, because we can see this being exhibited across multiple cultures, across multiple belief systems. My conversation always is one that is rooted in accuracy, right? And I'm lucky and fortunate to have grown up in the Caribbean, so we were never lied to. We never were fooled with the Santa Claus. Never, right? We never had these things because there are no chimneys. So we deduced the logic of that is TV very quickly as kids, right? Very quickly. 5, 6 years old, that is done. There's no chimneys, or a reindeer, what? No, no, it's physically impossible. We don't, so that doesn't work. But so those gifts end up under the tree based on our parents. So the whole thing is arm people with true justified beliefs. Um, teach a man to fish rather than hand him fish is always a better outcome at the end. Take away the crutch, you're gonna fall, but eventually you're gonna walk. We always take the training wheels off the bicycles. We don't leave them on. So as we mature as people, we need to start asking ourselves, what is the quality of maintaining a belief system that puts me outside of functional reality? There's something that becomes irrational in your reasoning. If we take into account, if we take overall into account religiosity and we put that with poverty, we put that with poor education, we put that with poor economic circumstances, there's a direct correlation. Now, I'm not saying the religion causes it. I'm saying there is a relationship there that we can't deny. There is a and yes, there are the exceptions, right? That most people can have their religion and still be functioning in society. However, the lack of scientific literacy becomes a problem. So, and this is the problem. You can have your religiosity. What is the level of your scientific literacy? The focus needs to be there. Why? Because this is the tool that's going to help you make the best decisions for you and your family overall. It's going to help you make better financial and economic decisions. It's going to help you make better health decisions. It's going to help you make better parenting and educational decisions, right? Your overall outcome, your prognosis for success is a direct correlation to scientific literacy. Whereas You look at poverty, there's a direct correlation to religiosity. What should be the focus of us in this community and for our people? That's the question. So I won't fight your belief system, but I'll arm you with scientific literacy. And you're going to have an internal fight.
Yeah, and I respect it. Again, I don't think it's for everybody. But even with you being an advocate of scientific literacy and things of that nature, in which I think you're great at it. Hey, everybody go over to Pseudo Killers and check out the Said Talks. He actually putting a lot of good information out. But even with what you was just saying, you started it out with a proverb from the Bible. And so even though you are far removed, as you illustrated, from believing in the Bible, a part of what you disseminate, you still used something from that book that you have no use for, apparently, to illustrate your. When you said the teach a man to fish analogy. And
that was
yeah. I got you. I just think that whether you, again, I always say this, whether you believe or you don't believe, to dismiss the benefits of having a spiritual tradition or believing in a higher power, etc., would be, to me, unnecessary. Because I think, just like you, and then I'm gonna let Steve go, but I'm gonna come back around to you. Just like you intimated correlations with poverty, etc., being linked to scientific illiteracy and poverty, etc. It's also linked to beneficial things. It's also linked to positive things. So when my thing is always, I look at the negatives and the positives, and then you can put them on the scale and see what's what. But let me go. I'm gonna go to Steve. I'm gonna go to Nathaniel, and then I'm gonna come back to you. Anybody else out there that got free smoke, hit the link. BK, I see you out there. Team Titan CEO, Jay Snake, Cosmine. Y'all free to hit the link and chop it up. Who else? We got King Herc in the building. I thought I saw L'Oreal in here. Silky. Hit the link if you got some free smoke. Right now, the Kemet Infomonger is in the building. What you got to say about what Said brought up, Chief? Anything else on your mind?
No, I just want to say peace to the panel and happy Father's Day to all the fellas.
Appreciate it. Salute.
Yeah, I'll say that, somebody posted about, good fathers, about, but Father's Day is Father's Day. You know what I mean? Regardless, happy Father's Day to all the fellas out there. I mean, DMG, you going? Are you there?
Going where?
Oh, okay, because you're no longer. I don't see you no more, but you're still there.
Yeah, no, I just turned my camera off.
Camera off. Okay, that's fine. So, I mean, I've been trying to get a debate for a while now. You know that, and I don't know, nobody don't want to debate me, whatever. I think I'm kind of a rookie back here. I think I'm also kind of scrubby. So I don't know why, people, they say they want to debate me and then they run away. It's happened on numerous occasions. So, it's like, whatever, man, whoever wants to smoke, I'm here. But, when it comes to coming up with a debate title and then the negotiation room and then the premise, and then all of this and all of that. And then it comes down to that, oh, we not doing this. And then comes the ad homs and whatever. I would like to say that as men, Very too often we start with the ad homs and name calling. Something I learned very early on in my life. Only girls do that. Um, Girls go back and forth, and girls cuss each other out. Grown men don't do that. At least I don't. So when they start with the ad homs and name calling or whatever, to me that's childish. That's adolescent, and it's also feminine. But they could go there. Other than that, you know what I'm saying? I'm just looking for a debate. But so as far as what Cedric was saying, I don't know what religiosity has to do with being seemingly said is in not so many words, couching it as though because somebody is religious or spiritual, they're ignorant or they're poor. You have lots of doctors and lawyers and educated people and well-to-do people who are also religious and spiritual. So being religious and spiritual doesn't mean that the person is irrational or uneducated or even poor, right? The I don't see the correlation. I don't understand the one-to-one correlation. Maybe it's in Cedric's mind, but I don't think that's borne out with facts. And also being scientific or scientific literacy, I don't know what is the relevance of maybe understanding the scientific method and then applying the scientific method to someone's life and thought process can possibly improve and enhance their life. But we all use the scientific method in our life, whether or not we know it, to solve problems. And that has to do with religious people and non-religious people, spiritual people. So I'm talking about the scientific method, scientific literacy. It possibly is how Cedric is defining it, but I'm talking about the scientific method that we use it. We don't. We don't go through the different steps in the methodology and all the different five and all these different things, but we use it to solve problems. And that goes for spiritual people, religious people, atheists. So I think it's probably personal with Cedric, and these assumptions that he's making that people who are religious and spiritual are somehow ignorant and irrational. And, that's about it.
All right, I appreciate it. I will say this, Steve. Let me ask you this before I move on to Nate. Do you think that the reason you having a hard time getting a debate is because of your hard stance on the titles, and maybe your potential opponents feel like they need to have a say in the proposition that's being put forth? Or do you think that it's real quick? Do you think? No, you're good. Yeah.
I'm willing to negotiate. I'm willing to negotiate the title.
Okay. Because that's the impression I'm getting, is that they feel like there is no negotiation. So y'all heard it here. The brother say he willing to negotiate the proposition. So and he's put forth debates where he was the negative and where he was the affirmative. So if he willing to negotiate, let's figure it out.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Steve.
Just because I put a title out there or a question, that doesn't mean that, well, if they agree, it can be set in stone. But if they want to modify it, okay, so let's negotiate and let's try to modify it. That's fine. The title that I didn't want to modify was the one for Cedric. And then Cedric disappeared. So then that title ended up being for Heru. And Heru was man enough to stick by that, but he didn't understand my style. And then I ended up winning that, and then I ended up with the academic belt. But all those titles that I sent you, if those people that you sent it to, if they were willing to, okay, fine, let's go into the negotiation room, or let's have a face-off, or let's try to modify it, or so on and so forth, that would have been fine. The last two occurrences when the brother said that he would take the title, and then he wanted to have a face-off. I said, okay, fine, let's put the premises out there. I put my premises out there. The brother didn't put his premises out there. He just said he ain't doing it and started calling me all kind of names. Then I'm in a negotiation again. I'm getting a long list of they go and they query Meta AI, and they get a whole long list to read and whatever about premises and so on and so forth. And in all honesty, I think that particular debater didn't understand what they were reading. So it's not. I mean,
yeah, listen, that was I couldn't even I stopped trying to read all that, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
For real.
I'm about to just tell y'all, send each other 2 sources and let's get this debate on. Not just you and him. I'm talking about everybody, because for whatever reason, people having a hard time giving their premises.
They're muddying the water, DMG. They're muddying the water deliberately.
Yeah.
They do it on purpose, and they know what they're doing. They, in my opinion, they just don't want to debate me. They want.
I'm not gonna hold you. I'm starting to feel the same way, because I'm like, what is this? Bro, yeah. We'll talk. Let me go to Nate. I'm gonna come back around to you.
Hemi will debate me, but Hemi got a debate coming up. I guess I'll just have to wait until Hemi's done with his debate, and then I'll debate Hemi, because all of these other folks out here, they playing games, and the childish games they play with the ad homs and the name calling and all of this other, they just, all these tricks and whatever it's clear to see what's going on. And people tell me that they're going to run. And that's what they do. And then they say I'm running, but it is what it is. I'm still here. I ain't going nowhere. I'm still here.
No doubt. Hey, Hemi is you see, I talked to Hemi and Ramo, and we got that scheduled. Hemi is the easiest person to make a debate with. So, but hey, let me go to the newest debater in the Worldview Wars Debate League, my man, Nathaniel Hughes. He is an Orthodox Muslim. What do you think about my brother Sid's thoughts on religion and versus being scientifically literate, and anything else you wanna talk about?
I think in my view, I think science kind of point to there has to be a creator. So science kind of points to that for me, because you can't have like if you can't start a line without a point. You know what I mean? So somebody got to start the line at a point, right? And so for me, something had to create all this. It couldn't have just happened by itself. So I think science points to we have a creator, right? And so the question then becomes is how do we how can I say it? How do we get in contact with or have a relationship with that creator is the question, in my view. So I think the soul is he mentioned the ruh. I know he was speaking in Hebrew. We also have that in Arabic. So yeah, the ruh, the soul is created by God and blown into the human body according to the Quran, of course. And yeah, I think science and certain things will point us in that direction, right? So, and there's verses from Quran that eventually, I'm sure we'll go over while I'm debating different guys. There's sources from Quran that prove that there's a connection between a creator and science. So, yeah, I'm with my man. I'm with you. I don't believe that all religion causes people to be fanatics or ignorant to science, or I'm religious now, and so I don't believe in science. I think they kind of work hand in hand with each other.
So,
gotcha. We got Jose in the building. Jose, let Sid respond, and Sid, you got some detractors in the chat as well. But let Sid respond, Jose, and then we're gonna go over to you.
I need to respond to that position.
My internet good.
My quick brother. I need to respond because the art of listening, there's an art form to listening. I clearly stated there is correlation, but there is no causation. You can't say there's causation for the same reason that you see people that can engage in science and have their religion. I clearly stated that, right? However, that correlation is there. You look at the Bible Belt. You look at certain countries around the world with high religiosity, and there is a correlation to poverty and low education, etc. So I did not say causation. I was very animate about that. So there's an art to listening. Now, if you don't know what scientific literacy means, how can you address that position? That is another thing that is often done. I was very specific. We are not talking about the scientific method. We're not talking about protons. We're not talking about neutrons. When we talk about scientific literacy, we are talking about a specific way in which you engage with data, in which you understand the natural world around you, and thereby allowing you to make civic decisions, parenting decisions, financial decisions, healthcare decisions. You understand when something is pseudo. You understand that from the time someone says you need to stay away from amino acids. Let me not do the flim flam. When you hear the Dr. Sebi nonsense, you're versed enough to be able to understand that that is pure tomfoolery. You will not get scammed out of your money. You will not get scammed out of your health. You will not get put into positions where you are in trouble, right? I said there is no need to attack your religion. I focus on teaching scientific literacy because of those specific points. And you yourself will have to challenge your religiosity. That's the statement I made. So if you are going to address what I say, please just address what I say. The disingenuousness in responding is what makes it difficult for me to engage. That's why I do my SED talks. Because if I clearly stated, why would you come back and do exactly causation, correlation, fallacy, which I would never do? I give the floor.
Good night, DMG. Happy Father's Day.
No
Right
doubt,
on,
no doubt.
brother.
Happy
Right on.
Father's Day.
I set up a debate with Gideon for July 30th. Are we Hebrew Israelites? So we waiting for you to set up a time for that. And a face off.
Okay, July 30th. What is July 30th? Is that a Saturday or a Sunday?
I think it might be a Saturday. I'm not sure. But,
All right, I'll look at the calendar and then I get back to y'all.
Debate. Are we Hebrew Israelites? Then we have a face off between Asar and Silky, so they can decide what they want to debate about.
Okay. What day did you make that for?
It's a face-off, so they weren't sure what they wanted to debate. So
remember, Jose, keep in mind, I told you got full autonomy if you're going to be the one that's moderating.
They weren't sure exactly. So I said, let them do a face-off and let them decide what they want to do. Gideon challenged me.
Okay, what I'm saying is reach out to the brothers and see what day they can do it so you can moderate.
I don't have Silky's contact. That's the only reason why I didn't do it at the time. So
all right, I reach out to the undeniable superstar Silky D, and you holler at. Matter of fact, I'll holler at both of them, and then I'll let you know what they say.
All right. And I see Cosmo Cow in the building, so I'm challenging all the Owaspies, definitely, and I'm challenging Boots on the Ground as well. Because they make
you say his name, and he shall appear, man. The undeniable superstar Silky D just hit the panel. So make sure you go to Herc and then go to Silky. I'll be right back.
All right. Herc, go ahead. Say what you had to say.
Yo, what's going on? What's going on, fam? Yeah, I just wanted to chime in because as we listen to Cedric, he always come with these points that are purely Eurocentric, but he don't say that, and he don't point it out because he thinks that it's normal. And when he says, ignoring the causality of the situation, why would you ignore what caused the situation in the first place? When you're talking about health and poverty, you talk about, you see around the world, what caused them civilizations to fall into poverty? Was they always in poverty? Have they always been like that? Or did situations happen that caused the poverty in those civilizations, in those countries that we see today? And we all know what the cause was. Europeans bringing in their religion, bringing in Christianity. Is the reason why you have these civilizations today um, in poverty, but you don't have Europe in poverty. So we got to look at these causes, and then you can't blame the religion for the causes that Europeans hide behind. And Marie Ba'ani showed this in Urugu. They hide behind their religion. They used it. They used Christianity as a tool, as a weapon. Same thing with the Arabs. Arabs did the same thing. So to say that you don't want to look at the causation for the reason is stupidity, because we cannot tackle and find a solution by saying get rid of the religion and just focus on science. That's not the damn solution, because they still gonna be in poverty. You still gonna be impoverished because you're using the science as another tool, as a weapon of exploitation. Scientific and being universal. This is what Europeans brought in, and this is why you see countries like African countries like in the Congo that's exploiting the number one uranium and cobalt around the world, but yet they still in poverty. They still suffering. So it's not just the religion. It's not just the science. It's the whole idea. It's the results of colonization that was left over inside of the system of them. As Wade Noble says, it's a disease. The European mindset is a disease for Black people, and it kills us. Yeah, we can't even see it. We don't learn to separate Western thought from African thought. And let's see the different results. It hasn't been done yet. So these are the things that I just couldn't throw out and leave out the causation. While we can't, you have examples of religion being helpful to people, on that spiritual level, uplifting their emotions and endorphins and stuff, helping them. You can show the same thing, whereas religion, is detrimental to them because they spending all their money, at the churches and stuff. It's the same thing. You can show this. You can show the good and the bad. But I just said we cannot leave out the causation of why it is happening. It is not just a spiritual thing, and science is not just the answer. You have to decolonize. We have to do decolonization, decolonize our mind. That's the primary thing. So I wanted to chime in, add that little bit.
And
All
you
right,
keep
Silky, go ahead.
equating science with scientific literacy.
Cedric. Let Silky go and then you can respond. Go ahead, Silky.
Yeah, no, I got you, Cedric. Man,
Yeah,
I just
I'm
came to
good.
see.
I'm good.
I
I'm
got
out.
you.
Cedric, let
No,
Silky
relax. I
speak and
got
you
to
can
say.
respond.
I was just gonna say, smash the likes. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to the panel. Shout out to the community. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Y'all know it's your boy Silky D. Y'all know how I rock. It looked like Cedric got a 2-0. Look like he did. Damn, I'm about to say, look like it's about to be a 2-on-1 going on. But
No, he
yeah,
could
man.
talk. He could talk.
I just want to say shout out to the panel, man. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna keep it brief. I'm gonna pass it.
Peace. Listen, as I said, I put in a challenge out there to the Owaspie brothers, definitely, and I'm putting a challenge out there to boots on the ground. Any and every one of them who want to debate can come and get that debate. If anyone here on the panel wants to talk about a debate, then you can go ahead and do that. So I don't know. Anybody want to add on to anything?
I mean, Jose, I've been looking for that smoke, and I can't get none. I debated Silky twice already, so I'm not going to debate Silky. Um, Heru, like creationism versus atheism, or atheism. Heru, I guess he's working. He's busy. You know about the other one? You did the face off.
Yes.
In that face off, dude said that if he don't like the premises, he ain't doing it. He gonna call me out. Then the same dude that's calling you out, Jose, we back and forth in the chat, whatever, and then turn around and say, call it with the ad homs, and he ain't doing it.
Who's
So
that?
I don't
Who's
know.
that?
I guess I gotta be like you and call out all the Owaspis.
Who's that, Steve? Who's that you talking about?
Who you want me to call their names?
Who? He who has no name?
I'll call their names if you want, but they're not here. That's why I'm not saying.
Who's that? Say the name, because I don't know who you're talking
Say
about.
their
Everybody's
name,
challenging me
man.
right now except you.
Okay, Hercules. I'm talking about Heru unconscious or Heru conscious. Y'all know about him. And then Lucifer, the devil, the dark side, because he sure ain't no light bearer, aka was in King Leopold, Virgin Mary, who you know where she was taking it. And
I
then
thought you already debated Lucifer.
no, he ain't want to do it. And then they'll say
Nah,
that
man.
I run, but I ain't running. I'm still here.
Well,
Then
I
let me just finish. JJ, who claims to be Mandinka Mali, now he's a traditional African spiritualist, but don't understand traditional African spirituality and still thinking like a Hebrew Israelite. Even he started and then he ran. So I got to be like you, Jose, and call out everybody. But I know I'm gonna end up waiting for Hemi, for Big Hemi. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there are people who will debate, like for example, Silky debate. That's fine, but I already debated Silky twice. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like I got to do like you, call out everybody. Then, all right, I'm calling out everybody.
See who sticks, right?
Let me go ahead and drop my kill list. So I'm trying to on my hit list now is Leandre. He's on my hit list. And Hemi was on my hit list. Y'all can have that. I ain't worried about Hemi no more. And Sar, he's on my hit list too. So they're gonna be the next people to meet the sword.
All right. So when you want to, DMG gonna set up that face off, because I don't think you guys have a concrete topic that you guys want to talk about here. So
no, we got a few. Yeah, we got a few topics that I want to. He tried to say that the sub-Saharan Africans was the ones who started Nubia or Kemet. So we got that there. Yeah, there's a few things he said in that live we had that we definitely can debate.
All right, so set up that face off. They're probably gonna have me moderate it, and you could probably throw out 3 to 4 topics and see what's popping. Because that would be a good debate. I don't know how well, I don't know who's gonna win that debate, because I know you are definitely standing on Big Berber business. So and he's definitely a Shamsu Hor or Shamsu Asar. So I don't know who gonna win that one. I don't want to call that one, but that's gonna be a good
let me give you a little real quick.
Hercules, you ain't calling nobody out?
Hey, real quick, I wanna do a challenge, but I gotta see where the brothers stand on it. A1, if you still in the chat, if not, I'm gonna have to hit you up later. I say me, the infamous DMG, versus A1. Was Christianity forced on enslaved African Americans? I'm the negative. I'm the negative.
I would take you on that, DMG.
All right, we'll see if
you don't take it, I'll take that.
We'll see what A1 say, because we're gonna try to do that joint pay-per-view, or he can do it members only, and I can do it members only, and we'll both get the residuals from that. Run these memberships up. And mine is super cheap, so $5 a month. $5 a month. But
if you
if he
don't
don't
take
take it, Jose, if he don't take it, Jose, then me and you. But y'all carry on, Jose. Hold it down.
Yeah. You see, unfortunately, Steve, if you
Jose,
allow
I got a question for you. Can I ask you a
yes, sir.
question?
Yes, sir.
Now, I don't know. And this is my stance, right? I more take the stance of syncretism, a blending. And I don't think, and I'm a member of Osero Set. I don't know if you know about Osero Set. At Osero Set,
That's. I think that's probably the biggest comedic organization in the United States, if I'm not mistaken.
well, a lot of people don't know about it.
Yeah, they're very quiet, but apparently they
Yeah,
are
because we're a secret society. Because we're really a secret society. No matter how
Don't say
Shechem and
that.
Shechem,
Don't say that,
huh?
Steve.
Oh, you mean a secret
I can't hear you.
teachings? It's a secret
Can you
teachings.
speak up, Jose? I'm sorry, Silky. What'd you say, Jose?
I said, don't call it secret society because then they're gonna say you're keeping secrets and you're a Mason.
Well, I mean, our rituals. You don't see our rituals on the internet, and even
They
if
teaching the ancient secrets supposedly.
even if you read Meduneter, the way that he outlines it, you never learn the rituals by reading Meduneter. You gotta actually be there and participate in the rituals.
But remember, some of those texts are considered cryptext, which means if you read it the way it's written in Medunetia, it doesn't make sense unless you
Right.
to certain secrets.
Right.
And this is why, and this is why sometimes when people read the text, they try and give you, well, if you throw in this language and that, no, you have to know the secrets of the organization in order to understand it. Because when you look at these texts are very, very cryptic. You say this and I say this. We know that
Right.
because we see it in the papers of Ani all the time. You meet this individual who is the great honker at this gate, and you must say this to enter into the gate. But when people don't read the text, they don't understand what you're saying. They think you're talking crazy, but there is a definite secrecy that should be maintained.
Right.
But the problem comes in when you're reading text out of context as just simply a text, and then you start to invoke things and provoke things when you don't know what you're doing. You shouldn't be reading pyramid text just like that. You need to understand what it is you're actually reading, what it actually means, what you're invoking, or else you'll get yourself in trouble. And this is the problem with modern people who just read the text and then act as if they're confused, like they don't know what's going on.
You mean when they try to recreate the rituals and whatever? Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Don't dabble unless you know the other components on how to stabilize yourself and maintain your peace. Because
yeah, they got super dabblers and they get themselves in trouble. That's why man walk around talking to themselves now, because they super dabbling and they don't know what they're really doing. They don't know what they.
But some folks out here think that we're trying to recreate ancient Kemet. At Osero Set, Shechem and Shechem in his writings, he tells you clearly that Osero Set is for Black people living in America and throughout the diaspora. It's not that we're trying to recreate ancient Kemet and we're trying to, that we know exactly what was going on. And, and that's what they try to do. They try to pigeonhole, people like, I can't speak for you, but I'm gonna speak for me. People like me to say that either I know the text or I don't know the text, but whatever, I'm forget about Osero Set, that I'm trying to recreate an ancient Kemetic society or ancient Kemetic life in the 21st century. That's not what I'm attempting to do. Shechem and Shechem says that it's using some of the techniques, particularly from the Paut Neteru, in order to enhance our lives and to make us successful in the 21st century throughout life. So I don't know where they get this idea that somehow or another I'm trying to live in ancient Kemet. They start talking about impossibilities. And the brother band, what was his name, Man's Bands or whatever, he was talking about that. And then JJ starts talking, then JJ starts talking about that. Like, why are they trying to put, I don't know, maybe other people's, maybe Asar is saying that he can do that. And I'll tell you right now, anybody who says that they can recreate ancient Kemet in the 21st century, they're damn lying.
Well,
They're
I don't think
damn
anybody
lying.
says that, Steve. I think that people who practice are saying we're looking at certain rituals that we do and certain things that we innovate upon, and certain things that
Innovate
just
upon,
didn't
exactly.
and things that just did not exist. So it's an amalgamation of all of those things.
Right.
Because if we were living like our ancient Kemetic ancestors, a lot of people would be getting beat down and hogged up.
No.
We can't, in 2026, that's unacceptable. That's
Well,
considered barbaric. We
you
have to
can't.
talk it out, and we can't just run up and slap people down and say you have
Right.
to listen to what we're saying. But our
Right.
ancient Kemetic ancestors understood if you don't control your environment, you can't live the way that you want to.
Right.
That
They
was a
want to
big
dilly
thing.
dabble and they want to dip and dabble, and then when you start calling them our ancestors and you prepare yourself and you prepare yourself for that ritual for the whole month, and then there goes the ritual, and you don't want to pay homage, you don't want to venerate that particular whatever, that energy, that there's stuff that starts to happen,
Well,
that,
what I
and
said.
then the ancestor will tell you plain, don't play with me.
I often ask this question, and we kind of had a laugh in the back chat I was in. How come ancient Kemetic practitioners don't do animal sacrifice?
Well, at Oseo said we don't. One reason is because we're vegan. We don't eat meat. I'm a vegan. We don't eat meat, so
We
we don't
laughed
do
at that.
blood.
We
Huh?
laughed at that in the back chat and said, we love our Kemetic practitioners, but they don't kill the animal because they don't eat it. But that was actually part of the ancient way. So why are modern practitioners not practicing animal sacrifice?
Because at Oseo said we're vegan. We will have other things. What we would do, we would eat strawberries.
No, but
We
Steve,
would
you can't say
we
that,
would
Steve.
eat other things. We would coconut palm wine and stuff like that. So we don't, because we
But
don't
Steve,
eat meat.
but Steve, you're really supposed to be sacrificing animals.
Yeah, if we ate, I guess if we ate meat, we would sacrifice the animal and whatever, cook it
That's
up
crazy.
and eat it. I guess. We
That's
don't eat
crazy,
meat.
Steve. That's crazy. That sounds crazy.
But
Y'all gotta
Jose, but this is
sacrifice
what
the
I'm
animal.
saying though
If
as
you don't
well.
eat it, give it to the poor. But animal sacrifice
Right,
was definitely
exactly.
part of ancient Kemet. Definitely.
That's
for
the
sure.
piece they don't get. That Jews, when they sacrifice, and Jews do it in their rituals when they sacrifice that animal, unless they're doing a total burnt offering and they burn it down to the down to the ashes. When they do their ritual and they sacrifice that animal, guess what? They cook it and they eat it. Muslims do the same thing. They cook it up, they eat it, and they share it.
Yeah, they do. But if you don't eat it, share to the poor, because that's
Right,
really
share it.
part of the culture. But that's really part of the culture, Steve. You can't say because you're vegan we don't want to sacrifice a chicken or a duck. That's
No, we don't. We just don't do it. But we don't do blood offerings and things like that either. But it's just
yeah, but
shekel to
that's
shekel. That's why
important.
we.
But remember, those things are important because certain deities would require that.
Well,
That's a fact.
yeah, I understand they dealing with that blood, but we just don't do that.
Yeah, but that all right. I understand what you're saying, but that's something that really should be practiced.
Well,
That the most modern practitioners don't, simply because they are vegetarian and vegan and they don't partake of the meat, so they don't feel that they should slaughter the animal and waste it. You really are supposed to partake of the meat after you slaughter it. But you guys really
guess.
should be doing. You should be that. I think that's an important part. That I really think that modern practitioners should do, even if you don't eat it, give it to the poor. Practice it the way that they used to do it, because they did used to slaughter animals. It was an
But
important
Silky's
part.
gone. Seth is gone. The only brother that's left is the Muslim brother. I don't know if he want to debate.
Who's that?
What's the Nathaniel?
Assalamu alaikum.
Nathaniel.
Yes, sir. I'm just listening. I find y'all talk on Kemet religion
I was so mad at
interesting.
you, Nathaniel. You know why? Because you came on here with the brother Khalil, and you guys wasn't going in on each other. You guys were supposed to go in on each other, man. You're supposed to really say what you wanted to say. I find it was
I
too much
couldn't.
discussion, man. I really find so.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to come on and be so tough on him just because I could have. You know what I mean? I wanted to reason with him a little bit, and it wasn't a formal debate. It was more like a dialogue.
Well, Nathaniel, we have to get you guys back to do a more formal kind of, at least a face-off match, because you guys clearly have things that you want to hash out. So you need to come on next time when you had to go in on a brother. You can't be
Whenever brother Khalil is ready, I'll be ready. And
Yeah, man.
and like we were saying, I will prefer a formal debate. It can be on the same topic. It can be on numerous topics. I can promise you this though, that I won't be as nice as I was the first time.
Yeah, man. We want some aggression. We want to hear a little bit. I know you
Right,
have it in
right.
you and you want to say it because you guys clearly have some disagreements that you need to hash
Yes.
out. So I
Yeah,
don't have
we
you
do.
guys' information. I know DMG is listening somewhere, so let him set up a face-off. You guys come and do a face-off and decide what topic specifically you guys want to talk
I
about.
still talk to brother Khalil, so I'll just message him later on tonight, and let him know, man. If you want to do that debate, man, let's ride.
Yeah, set up something, and then you guys can contact DMG, and maybe he'll let me moderate it.
Yes, sir.
I know you are Orthodox, and he is a member of Nation of Islam, but he does not follow Louis Farrakhan. So
No.
therein, you can't attack him on what Louis Farrakhan is doing. You have to attack him on what Elijah Muhammad.
I mean, it's enough meat on them bones for me to pick them. So
that's what I'm saying.
you know what I mean? It's enough.
But I'm just saying that because people don't understand that he is not with Louis Farrakhan. He is definitely following the original teachings. So you can't attack him on what is going on in the Nation of Islam now, because that's not his thing.
Right.
So you have to attack him on Farad Muhammad and those different things, because the mother with him, those are things that he stands on as a true fruit of Islam. And I know you definitely have some contention with those things.
Yes, sir.
So you guys talk it out, get with GMG, and you guys can definitely come back on. Hopefully I'm moderated. You guys can do a face-off and decide what topic you guys want to debate on, because I know that would be a good debate.
Brother Daniel.
Yes, sir.
Do you have issues with pagans?
I'm Muslim, so yeah.
Okay, good. What issues do you have with pagans?
That they worship more than one God.
And you're a monotheist?
Yes. I'm an Orthodox Muslim, so I only worship one God.
You only worship, what's the name of that God?
Allah.
You ever heard, who's Allah?
Allah, not Allah.
Who is she with the T at the end of it? Who is that?
Allah is a Qurayshi pagan god that the Qurayshi pagans attributed daughters to Allah Azza wa Jal. So they attributed gods. So before Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there was 360 idols in the Kaaba. And when Muhammad sallallahu came, he said there's only one God. So between him and his tribe, which was the tribe of Quraysh, there was for some years there was a battle between him and them. So much so that the followers of Muhammad sallallahu ended up migrating to Abyssinia, which we call Ethiopia, but they migrated to Abyssinia for refuge. And the Prophet Muhammad himself went to what was known as Yathrib, and they changed the name to Medina. So the god Allah that you're talking about is one of the pagan gods that the tribes of Quraysh had attributed to Allah. I was actually reading a verse about them earlier.
So was Allah worshipped or celebrated along with these 360 pagan gods?
So the pagan tribe of Quraysh viewed them as almost like mediators, like so you had Allah as a supreme god, and then you had all these other little gods underneath Allah, right?
So does Allah have pagan roots?
No.
But he was being worshipped along with the other pagan gods.
That doesn't mean he has pagan roots. Remember, the tribe of Quraysh attributed those things to Allah, right? So Allah is the same God that's Elohim. So if you look at the language, Hebrew and Arabic, they're sister languages, right? So they have a God, they call him El or Allah, right? In Aramaic is Allah, right? And in Arabic it's Allah.
Okay.
So from the Muslim paradigm, we believe that we're worshiping the same Yahweh from the Old Testament.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. How many creator God? Is there one creator God? Is there one supreme creator God?
There's only one God that creates.
And does it matter what you call it?
Well, for me as a Muslim, it does matter because he has revealed his book, the Quran, to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and
Mhm.
so the name Allah is what we call him.
So
Right.
why
So
does it?
we don't attribute things like we don't call him father, like the Jews would call God father and the Christians call God father. We don't attribute father to him, right? Because he
What
says
does it
specifically
bring
in the
you?
Quran not to call him those things. And he
What
gave
does it
us 99 attributes to call him by.
what does it bring you to be calling Allah and only Allah? Meanwhile, other people are calling have different names for this supreme being or this one creator God. So what do you get different or special because you're calling Allah and other people are calling Jesus or whomever else they call? So what's so special about the name of your God if there's only one supreme creator God?
Because he is the creator, right? So I believe, and from my paradigm, he is that one creator, right? And we find continuity with the scriptures and the prophets that he is actually that one God. So when he says to Israel, "Hear Israel, your Lord is one God," right? We believe he's that one God.
Okay. Do you know of angels?
Yes.
So what's an
In
angel?
Arabic, we call them malaika. So
What's
we
that?
call them the malaika, and we've only been given certain names of certain angels. We haven't been given the names of all of them.
And what are they? How would you describe an
Okay, so
angel?
Allah says that He made the angels from light. So He made three specific intelligent beings. One was the human being, which is the best of creation. He created the angels, and He created something called the jinn, which is made from smokeless fire. So we're made from the dust of the earth. The jinn are made from smokeless fire, and the angels are made from pure light.
And what do they do? What are the response? What do angels do? By the way, what do they
Hey,
do?
well, okay, so different angels, the angels that are named, we know they have different responsibilities. For
Uh-huh.
example, the angel Gabriel has the responsibility of bringing the message back and forth between Allah and earth, right? So he brings revelation, right? So
Mhm.
when the first encounter of Malik Yahweh, which is the angel of the Lord in the Bible, comes to Hagar first, right? And so Allah doesn't come down himself because no man can see God and live, according to the Old Testament of the Bible, and according to the Quran, no one can see God, right? So he sends the angel of the Lord down to reveal his messages to his prophets. And sometimes it's not necessarily just prophets. Like we know from even the Christians will agree to this, that the angel Gabriel came to Mary, the angel Gabriel came to Yusuf or Joseph, right? So we know that the angel Gabriel came at different times and delivered messages.
So are these angels like deities?
No,
They're not deities.
no,
How are they different from deities?
because Allah is the only God, right? And He created them. So from the Islamic perspective, if something is created, it cannot be Allah, right?
I'm
If
not.
something is
Okay.
if something is born, it cannot be Allah because Allah has no beginning and no end.
So you're saying that the only deity is Allah.
That's right.
So Steve,
Uh huh.
would you be willing to challenge him with
I'm
a
listening.
discussion about that?
I'm listening to the brother. I'm listening to the brother. I ain't challenging him. I'm listening to him. My next question would be.
No, but what he's saying,
I
but
hear you,
what
my
he's
brother.
saying,
My
what
next
he's
question
saying
would
is,
be as far as the divinity, right? Being divine.
Right.
Are humans divine?
Am I divine?
Not are humans in general. Are humans divine?
No.
So
They're divinely. I would agree that they're divinely created. They're created by something divine, but they're not themselves divine. No.
so so
not
I should
Islam.
not be
Islam doesn't say
seeking.
that.
I should not be seeking divinity then.
No.
I should not
You're
be
not.
seeking.
According to.
Hold on. One
Right.
second. Let me get this out. I should not be seeking to be like Allah. Since
No.
Allah is divine and Allah is the only divinity, I should not be seeking to be like Allah.
No.
I should.
You wouldn't be according
I'm
to the
done. I'm
Islamic
done.
paradigm.
I'm done.
You wouldn't be able to
Done.
accomplish that
I'm
anyway.
done. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I shouldn't be
But
trying to
Steve,
be like God. I shouldn't be trying to be the creator.
but Steve,
I shouldn't be
It
doing
would be an impossible task.
according to Islam, they actually put Allah in his own in his own domain. He does not live with the angels. You have Lahut, which is for Allah, Malakut, which is for the angels, and then you have Nasut, which are for the humans. So Allah, in their paradigm, does not mix with anyone. He lives on his own.
So
He is not in heaven mixing with the angels.
Right.
so
He's self-sustaining. He doesn't
Right.
need anything. He doesn't need anything. We need him.
so Muslims don't think or know that humans are divine. That so humans should not be seeking divinity.
No,
No.
not according to
So
Islam.
what should we be seeking then?
We should be seeking to worship Allah. That's why He created us. According to
Okay,
Al
and
Quran, He created us
in
to work
worshiping the
specifically to worship Him. Worship Him.
Allah, in worshiping Allah, are we seeking divinity?
No,
But
we're seeking
Allah,
the
Allah is
pleasure.
divine. We're seeking
Right,
what?
Allah is divine. So what we are seeking, speaking for Muslims, what we are seeking when we make salah, we are seeking the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal. Right? So we're not seeking divinity, we're seeking the pleasure of Allah. Right? And because He sent the Quran and gave us instructions on how He deserves to be worshipped, we worship in that fashion. Right? So the specific movements that a Muslim would make, the way he bows and he makes sujood and he makes a ruku and he stands in qiyam, all of those things are specific, given to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, telling us, his followers, that this is how Allah deserves to be worshipped. So we're not doing it because we're going to be divine later or we're going to get some type of divinity out of it. We'll never be God.
Okay,
right?
So when I in from my perspective, right?
Right.
Seeking divinity doesn't mean that I want to be God. That's not what it means. So you're using the word pleasure. I would say that I want to be like God. I want to be God-like. I cannot be God. I cannot be the supreme creator being. But in my understanding, it's all good. It's all powerful. It's all merciful. So I want to reflect reflect that God, and in so doing, I am achieving aspects of divinity. So it's just a matter of semantics, and you're telling me that Orthodox Muslims don't use those terms. So instead of calling it divinity, you call it pleasure, and so on and so forth. Okay, I get it. But the other thing I would say is that I would say that an angel, as Jose was saying, that it's in a different realm and that Allah doesn't mix with angels, but does Allah mix with humans? And also Allah is the supreme creator being, and are aspects of Allah in all of his creations. So do Muslims understand, or do they try to understand, that as the supreme creator being, that aspects of this creator is in everything, because everything came from it, because it is omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. So everything came from it. So aspects of it is in everything. So how could it be in one realm and it doesn't mix with all the other realms if everything comes from it?
Because He created it, that doesn't mean it's Him himself.
But
right?
I'm not saying it is Him. I am saying that everything has aspects of it because it came from it. It is the creator.
Right. But that doesn't mean we're okay. So you're not omnipotent, for example, right? You don't know everything.
No, I don't know everything, but I know some things. So I do know.
Right. But according to the Islamic paradigm, your knowledge is only what Allah will allow you to grasp. Right. So according to that paradigm, your knowledge only goes as far as Allah will allow.
Well,
right, as a human being.
that may be in an Orthodox Muslim tradition, but I have a will. I have that ability only to I have a certain amount of power to choose to do this or to do that.
Right.
And to say, I don't know, maybe in your tradition you're saying that Allah intervenes in everything, and if that's just so then where does the accountability come? Am I accountable for my actions, or is it all predestined, or is it
Okay,
all destiny?
so that's a very good question. Everything is preordained by Allah, right? So every single thing that happens is preordained by Allah, right? But because Allah exists outside of space and time, he has no beginning and no end. He can see both the beginning and the end at the same time, right? So imagine a 2D image, right? If the 2D image was animated, it wouldn't be able to see you, right? Because you're in a third dimension. So you have a third dimension that 2D image would never be able to see. Allah exists outside of our dimension, and he can see everything, right? So if you drew an image on a paper and animated, you would be able to see everything on that paper, right? But the image that's animated can only see in 2 dimensions. It can't see everything, right? So Allah Azza wa Jalla is able to see the beginning and the end. So he knows his creation. When he creates a man, he knows what he is. He knows the decisions that he'll make, right? And the free will that's given, the man does have free will, but he makes those decisions on his own. Allah already knows that he's going to make those decisions.
So am I
right? So you're right. It is up to us to decide, and it is our choice. But Allah already knows what our choices are.
Okay.
But does the Quran actually say that humans have free will?
Yes. So remember I said that there was 3 Remember that I said there was 3 creations, right? The angels, the jinn, and mankind.
Yes.
2 of them have free will. Right? So the jinn have a free will, they can do what they want, and the human being has free will, they can do what they want.
So a jinn is an evil spirit or just a spirit?
Not necessarily. No, not necessarily. So from the Christian perspective, they believe in what's quote unquote demons, right?
Angels, yes.
And so they're all evil, right? All demons in Christianity are evil. And in Islam, all jinn are not evil because they have free will, right? And so a portion of the jinn can be righteous, right? And in fact, if you know the history, the chief of the jinn, the shaitan, Iblis, right? He was righteous. So before he disobeyed God in paradise, he was righteous, right? And it was his arrogance and his disobedience upon the creation of Adam alayhi salam, the first man. When he said to Allah, he said, I am better than he is because I am made from fire and he is just made from clay. When Allah commanded the angels and everything in paradise to bow, everything bowed except Iblis because he can choose. So he chose. The angels didn't have a choice. So they couldn't choose not to bow, but Iblis chose not to bow. And then Allah came to him and said, oh, Iblis, why didn't you bow when I commanded all of the angels to bow? And that was his response, because I am made from fire and he is made from clay, and I am better than he is. And it was his arrogance. So Allah Azza wa Jalla kicked him out of paradise. He expelled him, right? The name Shaitan means the expelled one, right? So that title that he's given, Satan, that means he's expelled, right? So he's expelled until the day of judgment. But we'll all be gathered, including the Shaitan, on the day of judgment to be judged.
So
now,
was Satan the only one to be expelled?
Yes. Yes. So remember, according to the Islamic paradigm, unlike where the Christians believe a third of the angels departed with him,
right.
The angels don't have a free will. So they would never disobey Allah. And in fact, in Surah Al-Baqarah, the angels ask Allah, when he says, I'm going to create something on earth, right? I'm going to create man that will live generation after generation on earth. The angels respond to Allah and say, are you going to create something on earth that will create bloodshed and mischief?
My brother, I have a question for you, and I don't know if you have the answer. So
Yes, sir.
where did Satan get this free will and the other angels don't have this free will?
Because Allah Azza wa Jalla gave the jinn free will.
So Satan is the only jinn.
No, he's not the only jinn.
So
he's not.
Jinn. So the other
jinns.
So
when the angels, there are other jinns. So when the angels ask Allah the question, are you going to create something?
Do they have free will, my brother? Do these
Yes.
other jinns have free will?
Yes,
right?
they have free will.
When Satan got kicked out, where are these other jinns?
The other jinns were on earth. So when the angels ask Allah,
you have jinns roaming the earth. So Satan got kicked out of the garden, but you just said that. Okay, never mind.
Hold on. So when the angels ask Allah, they say, "Oh, are you going to create something on earth that creates bloodshed and mischief?" We know that the angels had witnessed the jinn create bloodshed and mischief on earth before mankind were created. Right? And Iblis was selected by Allah Azza wa Jal to fight those jinns, right? Because Allah had sent them prophets just the same way he had sent mankind prophets, right? And Iblis had fought the jinns into the I think it's into the seas, into small islands on the seas, right? So some scholars think that it may be the Bermuda Triangle, but nobody knows. But he fought the jinn all the way back into islands on the seas, right? And he was elevated because of his status. Iblis was elevated into paradise. So the other jinn were still left on earth. Iblis had a special invitation because of his worship and his zeal for Allah Azza wa Jal. His beef was never with Allah, it's with us. So remember his statement, I am made from fire and he is made from clay and I am better than he is. Right? So his beef is not with God. He knows who God is. But Allah Azza wa Jal elevated Iblis to a special status, and that's why he was able to be in paradise with the angels with his free will.
All right, Steve. You have any more questions, Steve?
No, I'm still totally confused, but it's okay.
No, well, here's what I can do for you guys. I normally do where there's smoke, there's fire. I did that for the last 2 Fridays. So if you guys want to come on when I do that, you can continue your conversation when I go live with that. Because it seems like a conversation.
I'm respectful, you know what I mean, and there's so I'm listening and trying to understand what the brother's saying.
Right, because when you look at jinn, when you look at jinn are like wandering spirits that wander around on the earth. I think that's what he's trying to say. Am I correct?
Right.
They're not
right.
angels. They're spirits who wander around and can possibly do good or possibly do evil.
Correct.
Because when you look at the legend of a genie is a jinn.
That's where it comes from, right?
In servitude to humans, they are bound to your desires. So when you look at that, then you start to understand where it comes from.
Yeah, but these jinns can choose. They can choose to follow the creator, or they can choose not to follow the creator, just like Satan.
Right, but in this particular instance, when we see this particular spirit, right, it is trapped in a lamp, and when you rub the lamp, smoke comes out, and the genie comes out and says, I have 3 wishes. I am bound to you, your desire. I have no will of my own. So this is part of what we're talking about with these type of spirits, how they can be bound to your will.
Are you familiar? Are you familiar with the story of Solomon?
King Solomon and all the women that he was dealing with.
Yes. Right. So there's a story in the Quran about Solomon, and he had an army of jinn. Now, remember, from the Islamic perspective, the prophets are not sinners the way they are in the Bible. They're not depicted as criminals or sinners that, did these major sins, and you know what I mean, and then they had to be forgiven later, right? So according to Islam, the prophets had sin removed from them, right? And Solomon, one of Solomon's identifiers as one of the greatest prophets was that he had an army of jinn. And even the Jews associate a lot of black magic and things like that with Solomon because of that, right? So from that story, we know that the jinns can choose to obey the prophets of Allah.
Right.
Right?
Yeah,
Because he had an army of it.
So he had a
One
army
of them in the story that I'm describing to you was actually King Solomon had asked about the throne of Sheba. And one of the jinn told him, "Oh, my king, I can retrieve the throne before you sit down in your seat." And then another jinn responded and said, "Oh, my king, I can retrieve the throne before you blink your eye." So these creatures move with incredible speed. They have incredible strength, right? So it's not just an angel. Like, they're a portion of the angels that fell. These jinns are created specifically as jinns, according to the Islamic paradigm.
So this is so what you're saying that is an example of spirits that are bound to human desires and human wishes.
They can be, yes.
He was able to control them with whatever he was doing.
Well, he was according to the Quran, he was a prophet of Allah. So these jinns were obedient to the prophet of God, and they were in it. He had an army of them, right? So he had an entire army of them.
That's interesting. I definitely think that I would like you to come back and explain that a little bit more. That sounds
yes, sir.
So I put my email in the private chat. So if you go into the private chat, you'll see my email and you could contact me. We could set up something. You could come back and talk about this. Because I would love to hear about this. Yeah, yes, sir.
The interesting thing is that my understanding is this is what people do, right? I'm not saying that these energies and these entities don't exist, but you know what people do? People will blame these things for their own behaviors and their own actions, because ain't no jinn, ain't no devil, ain't none of them never killed nobody. Ain't none of them never carry out eugenics and wars and kill millions and millions of people. So somebody else will gonna tell me when they inhabit people, now they cause them to do wrong. No, we need to be accountable for our own actions. We do
not it. Not to be fair, Steve, he didn't say that specifically.
I'm not saying that he did say it. I'm not putting words in the brother's mouth. I'm just talking in general. This is what people do. This is what people do. And I'm not saying that these entities, good, bad, or that they don't exist. They exist. But we have power. We have a will. We can choose. And to say that these entities enter into people, and then people people surrender their wills up to these entities. No, that's what we wanted to do that's what we wanted to do, and that's what we did. So we don't blame. I'm not saying that the brother's doing it. His brother's doing it because we all do it. We all do it. We'll blame God and we'll blame God and we'll blame the devil and we'll blame whomever for the dirtiness that we do. So let's be accountable for our own actions. And we have power. We have our own power, right? Whether we're divine or we're not divine or whatever, we have our own power to do right or to do wrong. And I don't necessarily need no jinn to inhabit me or no devil or whoever to inhabit me to do wrong. I will do wrong on my own, and then I won't blame no jinn or no devil.
And that's interesting that you say that. Hold on one second. That's interesting that you say that, because there's a verse in the Quran that says, "No bearer of burdens will bear the burdens of another," meaning that every man will be held accountable for what they did, right? Not what the jinns did, not what they said the jinns blamed them for what they actually did themselves. So on the day of Yom Kippur, on the day of judgment, Allah is going to question us as to what we did ourselves. We're not going to be able to say, "Oh, the jinn made me do it," or My money made me do it, or we're not going to be able to blame anything but ourselves.
And
There's
in the
actually
Kemetic
a surah
tradition,
in Quran about it. Surah Fusilat
in the
talks
Kemetic
about.
tradition, that's the weighing of the heart. And the weighing of the heart is not at death. The weighing of the heart is every day, is every moment we're being assessed. But we assess ourselves. You might say Allah is assessing us. We assess ourselves because we know right from wrong and we choose to do wrong.
That's right. I agree 100%. We do choose to do wrong.
But you do know when you're dealing with Bible believers, the Bible does not ascribe free will to human beings. Simply because when you read the Bible and you do something that Yahweh does not like, he can kill you and destroy you. He sends his hitmen, such as the children of Israel, to destroy the Canaanites. And Satan
That,
as the hitman. So the Bible believers don't think that you have free will. It doesn't ascribe free will to human beings.
Hold on, Jose. DMG ain't here. Ain't no Bible believers here, so I don't know. they can't defend themselves right now. So
Right. Listen. What I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna thank you guys for that. I put my email in the private chat.
I got you, copy.
If you can access it, email me and I'll set it up where you can come back and actually talk to us about the jinn. Show us the jinn in the Quran and show us the text, because I think it would be something interesting. I like for people to show
Brother
us.
Nathaniel, I like this build. You're not contentious. You're not. If you were a little bit more contentious, but
You
you're
see
not
what I'm saying?
my brother. He's not.
You see what I'm
He's
saying,
not.
Steve? You see what I'm saying, Steve?
Yeah, he's
And that's
not
what I was telling him.
contentious. Yeah, he's a good brother. All right.
Well, say, let us reason together. It don't say let us be mean to each other, yell and scream. And that's one of the reasons why I like DMG's channel. That's just immediately, as soon as I saw what it was about, I was ready to support, because, I believe that we should be able to come together and have these conversations. And then at the end of it, we can say, hey, man, yeah, that's my brother, that's my sister, right? So we don't, just because we believe differently don't mean we got to hate each other.
Right, I agree. But
Right.
everybody,
So,
everybody,
I was actually telling a brother that from TikTok that was asking me some questions from one of my videos on TikTok, and he said something about that, and I told him, yeah, just because you're a Christian or a Jew doesn't mean I hate you. Right? We just have a difference in theological beliefs, and that's where it goes. At the end of the day, though, we all got the same blood in us, right? And the same DNA.
And there's only one supreme creator being. That's my whole thing. We just call them different names, and we fight wars in the name of it so that we can rob each other and take each other territory. That's what we do. That's what we do.
All right. So what I'm gonna do now, since it looks like DMG is not coming back on, I'm gonna thank you, brothers, and I'm gonna bring back my brother Nathaniel. I know Steve is always in here looking, so he's always in the bush. He gonna pop up when he needs to pop up. So I'm gonna let you brothers go. Thank you, brothers. Hit me up, Nathaniel, and you're gonna come back on and you can expound a little bit more on what Orthodox Islam is, so people can understand as opposed to just judging. Because I want to say you should give a person a chance to show their text as opposed to just not reading text. So I'm not the religious guy, and I'm always wanting to tell you I'll do a presentation to show you what the text say, and we can have a discussion about it. Because you don't seem as if you're against Kemet in that way. You didn't come across.
No, I don't know enough about it to be against it. So I need to learn more about it. And if y'all got more knowledge on the subject, and sometimes, like my brother was saying, he was saying earlier, art, listening is an art form. So you notice sometimes when y'all be on talking about it, I either ask a question or, right, I don't want to, because I don't want to be the fool that open his mouth and speak presumptuously like I know what I'm talking about when I really don't. But now, if you ask me something about Islam, then we cooking.
All right, so brothers, you brothers have
How do you say assalamu alaikum?
Assalamu alaikum. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and end this.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, brothers. I appreciate it. So let me go ahead and end this.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right, have a good night,
everyone.
Hit that.
I told you I wasn't stepping to. I ain't disrespecting you, son.